And this is my witness, PC Smith. I'm here to question you for an incident that occurred on the 21st of November 2009 at around 9:30 p.m. in Glabry. I will now commence the interview and the time is 10:40. Can you confirm that you are Adrian Jenkins?
I am.
And were you born on the 12th of February 1979?
I was.
What were you wearing on the 21st of November 2009?
What was I wearing? God, I can't remember what I was wearing. Let me think. Jeans, probably. My usual trainers I've got in there. I usually wear a cap. I look like everyone else in the street, really. We're all there in our jeans, trainers and caps.
Where were you in the early evening around the 21st November 2009?
Well, that night I went to the pub, actually, my local, the Red Lion, on St Mary's Street. And I was just having a quiet pint there.
Were you with anyone?
I wasn't. I didn't go with anyone, but I did bump into an old friend of mine, Tony, who I used to work with. I used to wash dishes with him.
So you have quite a good relationship with him?
I didn't know him that well. It wasn't that long before we were both made redundant. I haven't got a job at the moment.
How long were you intending on staying at the pub?
Well, all evening, which I kind of did. And then Tony, I was telling Tony some of my problems because I haven't got a job at the moment. And I've been looking for work, but I haven't got my driving licence either. So it's a nightmare trying to look for work when you haven't got any transport. And that's when he suggested that I bought his bike off him. And I had a bit of birthday cash left over, so I bought his bike.
Did you leave by yourself then with his bike?
Yeah, I cycled off.
And what time was this about?
Between 10 and 11.
Where did you go to?
Well, I just went into town, actually. I felt a bit better then because I've been having all these problems, with no transport. And I started to think, maybe I'll get a job now if I've got a bike. I can get around. I can actually get to places to see people who might want work. And then I can actually get to work, which will please my partner, Sarah, no end, because she's annoyed I'm not bringing any money in.
So where do you go to in town?
Just cycled around. I actually bumped into another old friend of mine, Mac, who works as a doorman at the Vibe Bar.
How long were you at the Vibe Bar?
10 minutes or so, just chatting to him, talking about the old times. He's a nice bloke, actually.
So you're quite familiar with everyone and the Glabry area?
Well, I know the Vibe Bar and I know the Red Line pub.
Do you live in the Glabry area?
Around there, yeah.
So how long have you lived there?
Quite a few years now.
So you're quite familiar with the area?
I know a couple of places.
Are you aware of Bailey Close?
No.
But you've lived there, so you know all the back streets and...
Not
stuff.
Particularly. Never heard of Bailey Close. Might know some other roads if you mention them.
So your friend who bought the bike off, what was his name again?
Tony.
And why would he have a woman's purple push bike?
Well, I didn't particularly notice it was a woman's. I noticed it was purple, but you see, purple's quite an in colour now for boys and girls, isn't it, really? So I can't comment on it being a woman's. It's just a bike, isn't it? It gets you from A to B.
Whilst you're outside the Vibe Bar in Glabry High Street, you were talking to the bouncer and you spotted a police car coming towards you, and you turned and cycled away. Why did you cycle away?
Well, I regret that now because obviously that looks a bit suspicious, doesn't it? But you know what? I'm sick and tired of being stopped and harassed by the police. Always being stopped, all being asked questions about any crime in the area. They're trying to pin it on me the whole time.
But you have had previous convictions.
And I did my time. That doesn't mean to say I've committed every crime in Glabry. But you'd think I was the only suspect.
But you've had 7 charges of shoplifting.
And I've been prosecuted and found guilty, and I've done my time. I've had my sentences for those.
Yeah, but why would you run? Oh.
Because I'm always being harassed.
Alright, that's the end of the interview. The time is 11:45.